It's definitely. Hello, test one, two, test one. Yeah, iRacing decided to not play. It says a new audio device was detected, and it wants me to switch to it. Where that came from, no idea. So we're not going to switch devices here. Yeah, I think it's the haze. I mean, I just don't know what else is what to say. I mean, I just yeah, right. So I'll be in the middle of rebooting that, but yeah, that's happened before, but I don't know why. It's usually after a small update. So I don't know if I had. uh, Yeah, no, I don't even have that on. Okay. Uh-uh. Good boys. Uh, yep. Yeah, yeah. I just go to the result, the entries here. The results here, starting on the pole here tonight's going to be Aaron Edwards, and then Joey Cruz is still putting up a awesome battle up there, starting on the outside row in P number two. Jacob Groove's going to start in third with Ethan Winters back in fourth. Michael Rakes in fifth, and then you have Jacob Renneker in sixth, Jason Crispin in seventh, Ricky Renner in eighth, Josh Van Westen in ninth, Brian Vorse in 10th, Kyle Hunter in 11th. Then you have Dave Tilford, Zane Bierman, Brett Hollis, Terry Jansen, Cutter Christensen in 16th, Jason LaPon in 17th. 18th is going to be Dan Phelps, Chris Gilbert back in 19th. Steve Harris was the bubble boy here tonight, in starting in 20th. So congratulations there for Steve not being able to qualify here tonight. Then Clayton Davis, Ryan Chronister, and then Lewis Orduna, Matthew Jordan, Matt Crockett, Matthew Ulmer, Tyler Chronister, and then you have Dustin Peel. Oh, hold on. No Lewis Orduna. Back to Matthew Jordan. He's in 23rd. Matt Crockett's at 22nd. Uh, 29th is going to be Matthew Ulmer. 25th is Tyler Chronister, and then 28th is Drew Lowe, and then 27th Eric Martin, and Chris Hayes is your last of the 30 drivers. So we'll not see Richie Bradshaw, Dustin Peel, or Lewis Orduna here tonight, along with Jeremy Gainey. Oh, Dylan Huso, and I thought you said Daniel Russo. So I was looking for a Karate Kid paint scheme out there, Carl. Maybe. A slow start in the back there from the I think there's a 46, but able to get things rolling and everything. Everybody's going straight, it's just a little slow back there. But obviously quite a long little race here tonight, and looking forward to seeing who can tackle this fabulous, awesome track. It does look like some of the haze has lifted from the transition from one race to another. But Carl, another great one here at Michigan. Okay. Oh, ugh. Yeah, just a good start here for the field. Actually, obviously, some early battling, and Michigan's one of those tracks you can run it pretty hard, especially earlier on the tires, and uh, but you got to be careful, because the tires go away quicker than some may think here. But with the 77 kind of battling, they maybe get around some of these drivers here. It might allow that 15 to kind of stretch his legs. This isn't a track where you necessarily need the draft, Carl. Yeah, looking back through the field here, just trying to see if anything's kind of going on. I haven't seen anything as of yet, so everybody's nice and clean here. No, my incidents catcher is has not caught anybody doing anything they're not supposed to. But looks like a lot of drivers pretty close to one another, obviously here early on, and with the lack of or no faster pairs, you might see some drivers working together. I do see the 28 does it giving the 77 a little bit of a bump draft down the front stretch. Kind of did close that gap there on the 15. So, that's kind of what happens here. Obviously the drivers always want to gain another position if possible, but if you work with each other and a car is kind of out there solo, you can give nice little taps and kind of get little small bump draft going and catch you up to the next car. So, but it takes somebody obviously to work with another in order to gain those positions. So maybe the person in front of you is your rival for the season. Or maybe you've made some earlier contact with them, but you got to play nice if you want to get a chance to get up there for the lead. The 28's gonna now maybe try to take that shot and get around the 77 here, but 77 holding behind his teammate, keep that draft is going to keep the that flow going. But Joey's just got to be careful. Depending on that 188, and you can see the 188 getting a run up here, going down into turn number 3. Now that he underside, but not a bad place still for there being on the outside. You do have the 21 of Josh Van Westen back there. I think that's a new paint scheme, Carl, and trying to follow Joey Cruz and maybe get past that 188. Yeah. Yeah, right back to it. I mean, obviously, these drivers do, drive very close to each other, each and every week. We see Josh Van Westen going for a move, maybe looking three wide. There's Joey Cruz again, looks to the low side of the 77. I don't think this battle between these top six is going to go anywhere soon, but kind of floating back to the rest of the pack being led by Ricky Renner. Got Dave Tilford, the 55s in there, the 9 to 66. Another good group here, but kind of all spread out in some sort of awkward formation as everybody's got some sort of different line to make it around turn number 3 and 4.
Well, it sounds like all kinds of computer issues here tonight, as I did have to change my my audio settings here. You were coming through on the broadcast, but the iRacing,
nice.
iRacing was not, and I was not until right now. So hopefully everything is good to go now. But getting some word now on exactly what happened to the 45 and the 3 here tonight. So 45 of Jeremy Gainey, any fans of him out there? Unfortunately, his internet went out in his neighborhood right before qualifying here tonight, and that's why he wasn't in qualifying and he wasn't in the LCQ. And then we're watching a battle here in the this is definitely the battlefield back here just outside the top 10. But for Luis Orduna, his PC gave up right before the LCQ tonight. So still some PC issues for the 3. Hopefully he can get that situated and get that corrected for the season, because I know he's had it a couple times now here this season. And it's hard enough battling these drivers out here. You don't want to have to battle your computer too.
No, I mean, I think we've all been there. I mean, it's probably the worst thing to happen to a sim racer is your engine goes down, your computer. It's the most expensive part, to be honest. I mean, yes, there's expensive accessories, I guess you can get for sim racing, but you need the heart of the system, you need the engine, you need the computer, and when that thing starts to go kaput, you go from you may be scrapping together maybe some used part to hopefully make it work until you could save for a replacement or something even better, or you're taking out a loan just so you can do what you love to do. I mean, all hobbies cost money, no matter what it is. It could be golfing, it could be sim racing, it could be fishing, it could be tennis, whatever floats your boat. Everything costs a little bit of money out there, and the thing about as long as you enjoy it and you're having fun doing it, that's the small price you pay for these old things. It just sucks, and I feel anybody that has any computer problems, because we here at CRN obviously went through a small phase where it glitches all the time. Streams were looking meh. I guess we call it meh, is all the changes with iRacing. I'm just hoping that whatever iRacing's got up their sleeves somehow tones back some of the requirements a little bit and provides a better picture, because man, there's so many for this instance, we'll call them video games, that provide such great graphics that I just know that something is in the works here for iRacing. What yet? I'm sure we'll find out here. I think they teased a little bit about showing some examples of what they got on the books, Carl.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Just like when it comes to the vehicles out here, just when it comes to the tracks, they don't do anything, for lack of better terms, half-assed. They take their time. They do laser scans on the tracks, on the cars. They talk to drivers. They talk to manufacturers, and they really dig deep into everything that they do on here. Rain was a project for iRacing for a couple years, Jimmy, maybe even longer. That they said, rain's coming. It became, to the point where it was a meme. That yeah, sure it is. We'll hear about it again in another 6 months, and it'll say it's another 6 months out. But rain eventually came, and I think they did a great job. It's a bear, and it's rough to run in.
It's a bear,
but they I think did as good as they could, and better than a lot of other games and simulators out there. So I'm assuming they're just doing the same thing. They're doing their due diligence and making sure that they get the product that they want when it comes to putting a whether they're creating their own engine or whether they're looking to kind of run off of a different engine to beef it up here a little bit, because they know it's it's an issue for some, and they of course want this to be available to as many people as possible. There's requirements that you need to have certain graphics cards, certain processors, things like that, just to be able to run it. But the more they can open it up to everybody else, the more pocketbooks that open up for them. So it's kind of stupid for them not to look down that avenue to allow others to at least be able to get in here, even if it's on weaker graphics. As Michigan just being Michigan, Jimmy. Love to see it.
Yeah, back here gasping here as I'm watching Dave Tilford and the 9 and a little sway going back and forth.
I've been trained on this for a while now.
It's just good to see. I mean, you don't see this at many tracks, I mean, heck, at Daytona, 3 wide is like almost a death sentence. And here they're able to go 3 wide through the corner, hold it together. They're bobbling just a little bit, but still able to make moves, dive around each other, and use those runs. And they're just swapping back and forth here. And I'm just watching back here and P number 10. So I guess I should venture back a little bit farther, see how the rest of the field's doing. But that's what was caught my eye.
A little contact
as a
there.
23, it looks like was already down and away. As Kyle Hunter back out on the track. Coming out close to number 29.
Yeah, we've had quite a few pit stops here. About 7 or 8 cars already coming in and making their pit stops. Just too busy looking at this here. But now we will have the leaders come into the pits as Aaron Edwards, Joey Cruz, Josh Van Westen all coming down into the pits. It's going to hand over the lead to Ethan Winters, and we'll see how long he can try and run out here in the 77. We're already on lap number 20 here of 70, so still got 50 laps to go once they hit back to the line, but quite a few drivers into the pits this time by. Knock on wood, Jimmy. So far, a little over half the field in. No black flags coming in. Actually, hold that thought. Jason Chrisman did, looks like he did have a black flag.
I seen a yellow, but maybe he just ran off track.
Yeah, not sure what that was all about, but now Ethan Winters will come in this time by. Looks like Michael Rakes and possibly the rest of the field coming in this time by. Not sure if anybody's going to stay out there. Dan Phelps also coming in. Renneker coming in. Matthew Scruffy Jordan, new to the series here this tonight, as it looks like Vorse had some issues coming into the pits. Doesn't look like it's going to be a black flag, but it's going to lose him a bunch of positions. Renneker,
he's still out.
Yeah, having some real connection issues though, as he was the one that was way in the back, and looks like he's showing on the screen right now, but I hesitate to keep him on there because he's definitely had some connection issues tonight. And right on cue, he blinks out. So Aaron Edwards is going to end up, it looks like, taking back the lead. Ethan Winters coming out of the pits, battle out of pit lane here. And it is going to go to the short pits for now. And that's Aaron Edwards out front. Joey Cruz slots into second. Ethan Winters in third. Josh Van Westen in the top 5 for now. It'll eventually go back to Michael Rakes as Jacob Renneker comes off and goes into pit lane. Hopefully he can get 4 tires, fuel, and maybe some internet connection as well. But it looks like we do have a couple of black flags. I had to speak it into existence. Unfortunately, your points leader in the gold, Ricky Renner, picking up a penalty, and it looks like Dan Phelps also picking up a penalty on this round of pit stops. But
Ouch.
But we did get a green flag run, as we typically do here at Michigan. It's another reason why we love this track here. They can spread out so far. I mean, they've been bumping and banging off each other. It's not like they haven't been close to each other, but been nice and lean and green here from the start. And Joey Cruz sets his sights now on Aaron Edwards.
You're kind of amazed at kind of like still how close everybody is, and I'm just wondering if and a caution is out.
Looks like Jason
and I'm not sure why.
Is it's showing that he jumped into the pits. No, that's back at the beginning. That's why I didn't see the caution come out.
I got nothing.
I see Steve Harris limping around here. It looks like Matt Ulmer as well. So we'll take a look and see what happened here. as 134. Oh, up and out into the wall. Gets into Jason Chrisman. Chrisman keeps it straight for the most part, but Ulmer, nowhere to go, gets into Steve Harris here on the backstretch. And that's going to bring out our first caution. Looks like both of them are going to walk away without a meatball, but a lot of damage on that 134 and definitely a lot of damage on the 48 here as well.
Yeah, 134 bounced off the wall. That's what brought him down across, though. So that one's going to be on, incident there with Steve Harris. And then spinning on the track, obviously, there in front of the 48. And a lot of drivers need to take evasive action and get around people, but drivers do a pretty good job. There's a caution flag does fly, but some massive damage there on the 48 and the 134. So they're going to have to take that one in, Carl, and hopefully the pit crews can tape those things back together again and get them back out there.
Well, I don't know what the decision is here. A lot of drivers just came into the pits, but it looks like everyone wants to come back in, at least get some fuel, except for a few drivers. I thought for a second that Dave Tilfer was going to be the lone man out there, as he was the only one cruising on by. But it looks like a few others are going to join him. Jacob Renneker, Eric Martin, Chris Hayes, Ricky Renner, and Zane Bierman. It looks like Clayton Davis. Oh, no, actually, Ricky Renner's the last one. Zane Bierman's going to lead them out of pit road. But, yeah, been a pretty good run here. Pretty good start to the race. And just had the caution right there. Maybe some cold tires, just getting a little bit too aggressive coming out of the corner. Harris gets up there, scrapes the wall a little bit, but it was enough to kind of slap him off the wall. Luckily for Jason Chrisman, he was able to get away from that. Didn't look like too much damage to the outside of that Kim's Cups and More, number 54. So hopefully he can get back out there, stay on the lead lap. Certainly a lot of damage to the 134 and certainly a lot to the 48 here as well. We'll see if we get them back out in the field at all. But while we talk about Kim's Cups and More, I want to thank them as well as simraces.com for the sponsorship here for this season.
Yeah, I can't thank the sponsors enough. They just come to you sometimes. Obviously the door opens, and then somebody's willing to help out and put their name out there, and some of them do great things. Kim's Cup and More, just time and time again, is always there to support the sim racers. Obviously we see Wade over in one of the series what we broadcast, but to kind of reach out to other leagues and continue to see the kind of the sport and this small niche that we have grow is always a pleasant surprise. So yeah, I can't thank any of the sponsors that participate and want to help out enough. And that goes to, obviously we always mention the ones per league as we're broadcasting, but as a whole, if you're here watching, it's an honor in order to display your name or say what you do here on the air, and kind of get the word out as best as we can, and hopefully it has reached some people and got some things. Like I said, I've personally myself, my wife was looking for something specific to put on her brand new car, and I was able to work with Kim's Cups and More, and we got the details nailed down, and they ordered the materials and they made it up for her. We got them, put them on the vehicle, and my wife loves it. So yeah, don't be afraid to reach out to some of these sponsors if it's something that fits what you're looking for. As far as Kim's Cups and More, it's when you say the and more part, I'll stress the more. They do tons of stuff and willing to work with you. Some of the best people. Great packaging, by the way. I ordered a few things from other places in the past, and some of the best spots. A quick spin up front wreck. It's gonna pile up, Carl. This is huge.
Yes, a major incident here on the front stretch.
Holy
and that's what
cow.
can happen here when you have a restart with some cars out front that maybe have some old tires. I see a bunch of black flags here. I see a couple meatballs. Looks like Drew Lowe and Brian Vorst going to get the meatball. Barney had obviously a great view of that one, but we'll go ahead and take a look at that one here one more time. And looks like the 241 just never got going and really backed up that outside line, and that caused a major incident here on the outside.
Yeah, that was massive. I haven't seen a start that bad forever. That was it It was like go, and everybody just jumped off the bridge. I mean, it was. There's gonna be people in the pits this time by for sure. Get that damage fixed, and hopefully some of it's not too bad. There is a lot of racing still remaining. We're only on lap 26 of 70, and I would say almost half the field, if not more, some way, shape, or form was affected by that last one.
Yeah, luckily for the cars on the inside line, they were able to dive down to the bottom, get on the apron, or maybe even in the grass to avoid it. But you see the extensive pile up here on the front stretch. Half the field involved in this one. This is the big one that we typically see at a super speedway, and these drivers know that they don't have a fast repair, so you see them all stopped right there. And I feel like, Jimmy, I feel like I'm playing a game on my phone right now where you got to try and figure out which car can which one has the arrows that you can pull out, like the buses or the taxis or whatever the game is that you okay, this arrow, this one's free, I can pull this one out, and then I got this one here, okay, that one can go out, and you see right here some of the cars just trying to figure out who can go and where they can go.
Yeah, it's just like nobody really they've seen it happening and they're trying to check up, but they want to go because it's racing, and it's just the amount of it's just cars kind of moving around a little bit, and maybe not as much damage per car as we think, but it was enough. Obviously, some obviously getting the meatball flags, and some spinning around, just burning up their tires. Just everybody locking up to stay off each other. Watch the 188 kind of avoid Matt Crockett as he's sliding sideways, just barely misses the 60, and the 188 stays off. But then you got the 29 just trying to still roll, goes around, just everybody's sideways. A few bumpers missing. So most people involved, probably the least amount of damage, I think, with the amount of cars that were involved. Because I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 15 cars all parked at the start finish line.
That's what kind of made the whole thing amazing, is that was the big one with the least amount of parts laying around. I mean, it was unbelievable how everyone just checked up as quick as they could, and everyone was just parked sideways, trying to avoid hitting each other. So, I mean, kudos to a lot of the cars that were involved in that wreck, but could have been a heck of a lot worse if they weren't paying attention and just floored it through and try to get through Days of Thunder style. But it's definitely going to shake up the field here quite a bit. A few more cars coming in under that caution, and now it's going to be Zane Bierman at the front of this field. Michael Rakes in second. Wow. Ethan Winters in third, as you see some more cars coming out here at the last second to stay on the lead lap. But yeah, that shook things up quite a bit. Looks like we're going to be left with 23 cars on the lead lap.
That's wow. I just wasn't expecting to see all that.
I mean, I know we said there's like 7 different lanes here at Michigan. I didn't expect them all to use them here on the front stretch, and I'm sure Barney was looking down at him, just shaking his head like, what are you guys doing? But that's how quick it can happen, especially when it happens at the front, and whether it was a missed shift or just a slow restart there, it was a rough start on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, it was, obviously the outside just waiting for the leader to go, and the leader guns it, and I think fourth place, the second car back, I'm not sure who that was, they went to go, and the car in front of them was not moving, and you had to check up not to hit them, and obviously you're paying attention to the car in front of you, and then when, once that happens, as soon as that car gets on the brakes, the next guy, and then it just, obviously, accordion effect, it just, like a big old slinky, it just gets farther, it just goes farther and farther back. And, like I said, I have to give it to some of the drivers doing what they could to stay out of the damage. But we still have plenty of racing and still have pit stops that will need to be made here. We're only 29 laps in, so we still have 40 laps to go. There's still possibly at least one more stop, even if they went in this time by.
Well, this restarted a little bit better than the last one, as already getting to 3 wide racing. Looks like Edwards on the inside looking for the lead over Bierman. Gets around Rakes as they head down the backstretch, down towards turn number 3. Much better restart here. And now we got a big dive there from Edwards down to the inside on Winters, I believe that was, as Which back up here towards the front. It is Edwards now in the lead of this race. Winners right there in second. Cruz was involved in that incident, and he got a black flag to boot. So he has to come in, serve that black flag, as does Brett Hollis, Chris Gilbert, and Ricky Renner, looks like, also with a black flag. One meatball flag left. It looks like Brian Vorse still has got to get some damage repaired to his car, but all the other meatballs look like they're at least taken care of, but may still need to have a bunch of damage repaired in this one. But either way, Edwards back out to the lead here at Michigan. Bierman, Winners, Rakes, Tilford for your top 5. Then you got Jordan, Cronister, Hayes, Van Westen, and LePan for your top 10.
I'm still in shock. The incident.
Well,
it was a lot.
you know it's always a possibility, but you don't see it that crazy that often. And again, I think you got to give it to these drivers. Like I said before, I mean, there could have been a ton of damage to a ton of cars, but it was a parking lot on the front stretch, and everyone was just like, all right, don't look at me, don't touch me, don't breathe on me, just let's figure out a way to get out of this.
Like, do something.
It was like everybody was trying to leave a concert or a a venue, and everybody's trying to figure out where am I going to blend in.
Like, I need to park here. I was like, I'm going. Yeah, like they had the Blues, the Blue Angels down here. They had an air show down the beach, and when the Blues are down there, I stay away because the traffic is just. It stinks, right? There's cars everywhere, up on the curbs, and every single spot you think a car shouldn't park, there's a car. That's how much the Blues, Blue Angels get attention down here. I guess the best part about living in Pensacola, and then when I was in the Navy, I actually lived on the naval base. And the days that the Blues flew, I just went on my back porch and sat in a lawn chair to watch the air show, because that's how close I was to the airport. So yeah, but I didn't have to deal with all the traffic. So, but now that I'm not, if I want to see the Blues go fly, I just usually go out on their practice days. I'll go sit down on the beach or something and watch them practice, because it's pretty much the whole show. You get to see everything, just with the lack of crowd. But yeah, a lot of crowding and going on still here. They are nose to tail. Now Zane Bierman is still out in the front. Michael Rakes does get out in front of Aaron Edwards in the 016 there in the mash machine, as him and Zane Bierman maybe trying to work together just a little bit to kind of pull away. But Dave Tilford putting the pressure on the number 77 of Ethan Winters, trying to move himself up in a P number 4.
Yeah, kind of surprising here because obviously Rakes qualified up there in fifth spot. We know Bierman typically finds some race pace here as well. He qualified in 13th, but I mean the fact that they were able to get around Edwards and Winters, and without too much battling here. I don't know if that maybe they're trying to hang back there and maybe save a little bit of fuel. Maybe they're trying to work this backwards and figuring, okay, maybe we can make this on one stop if we just save a little bit of fuel instead of trying to make this on 2 stops here to the end. So we're interested to see how this thing plays out. We are at the halfway, Jimmy. I think it's about time we turn it over and give everyone out there in Sierra Nation. Oh, hold that thought, as we are going to have an incident with a lap car at the front. And
there goes Bierman. His car is jacked.
And yeah, that is going to be it for Zane Bierman here at the front.
And Van Westen.
And we'll take a look at that here again, and I'll have to rewind it here and see where this started. It looks like Eric Martin was trying to stay up and high and out of the way, gets into the wall, and kind of the same thing as Steve Harris. Bounces off the wall, tried to turn it and keep it up on the wall, but Bierman with the head of steam just couldn't go anywhere. Ends up getting into him on that one. And Van Westen, maybe have to be looking for another paint scheme next week and trying to figure out what he's got to do to try and get a finish here this season.
Right on board with Dave Tilford on this cockpit. That was almost a Days of Thunder moment. Wow, did he barely miss that?
Let's try that again here. If I can pause it and rewind it. Let's see how quick this thing happened here. That's all you gotta do, Jimmy. Just go where they're not. It's as simple as that.
Just go where they're not.
Wreck avoidance 101, Jimmy. Go where they're not.
Yeah, I just wasn't, obviously, like I said, just so, with just riding on board with Dave, and I just happened to see him kind of, escape through there, and that's just, obviously one thing that you try to see with the drivers, how they manage stuff, and he got a little tap there by the 29, so Dave's trying to collect the car just a little bit, and then obviously that was out of turn number 4. So trying to get try to get the run going, just following everybody by, and then, obviously lap car just trying to stay out of the way, and just can't get that car to turn. There was, obviously give it to the lap car just to kind of keep going out there. That's all part of being the heart of core, but just lost it coming out of 2. And Dave makes a narrow decision to barely miss the incident. Even the 29 almost got into Dave Tilford too. So that was a good run there by the number 29 of Tyler Chronister. So, just a good heads up, because it takes a lot to look ahead and to kind of see where somebody is not going to be.
I think the only one that appreciates this caution here, the 2 cars right there at the front, Terry Jansen, looking to get himself back a lap here, and every little lap counts here, as he's got the 00, looks like all fixed up here again, trying to pick his way through the field, through this wreckage. And Ricky Renner, who will get the wave around here as well, and he'll get himself back on the lead lap. So good job by both of them to avoid the wreck and stay out there. And they're going to get the wave around here. They're going to be off cycle here a little bit from the rest of the field, and it's going to hand the lead back over to Dave Tilford. Led earlier with some pit strategy, for some lack of pit strategy, not coming into the pits. This time he comes in, but only taking fuel here, maybe saving some tires for the end of this race. It's
You don't want to
it's
be
not going to help him out right
tire.
now, but
No.
it'll help him out in the long run if he works this out.
Yeah, maybe his tires aren't too bad. The tires do kind of even out here. I know one of the pit strategies is with some of these drivers is to just take 2 tires. 2 tires is very comparable, and you can run some good laps for quite a while, and it takes quite a bit of time for 4 tires to come back and match the time gained from a 2 tire stop. And obviously we've seen the short pit work here, but now with a couple cautions kind of rolling on, the drivers are all thinking like, what should my strategy be? Should I come in now? Should I make sure I have enough? When is that window? They're not in the window to make it the rest of the way. Everybody has to pit right now. One more time. We're talking 20 laps. We're at lap 40, and we have 32 laps to go here. So there's going to be the green flag pit stop, hopefully, for these drivers. But currently, right now, it's Dave Tilford with Aaron Edwards up front. You got Michael Rakes back there with Ethan Winters, Tyler Chronister with Jacob Grube, Matthew Jordan, Chris Hayes, Dan Phelps, and Jason Lapon. And then number 19 makes the top 10.
So before I was rudely interrupted there, I was going to say,
Sorry.
we're at the halfway. No, by the drivers, not by you. We are past the halfway now, so we're going to go ahead and watch them try and get this restart going here and give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Yeah, Tyler's tire spin on the 15th, but love to hear it.
Sights and sounds here from the Core O'Reilly Series at Michigan International Speedway as we're about to see the last round of green flag pit stops commence. We already have a good chunk of drivers into the pits. Taking a look right now at your leaders. Ethan Winters, Aaron Edwards out to about 3 1/4 second lead over Joey Cruz, Dave Tilford, Dan Phelps, your top 5. They got Matt Crockett, Jason Chrisman, Chris Hayes, Michael Rakes, and Jacob Grube currently are going to be your top 10, as Chris Gilbert, Ryan Chronister going to come into pit lane to make their final pit stop. But it's been a pretty good one, starting to stretch out here a little bit. It's a nice little green flag run after we had a couple little incidents. We've seen a few more bumps and bangs and scrapes along the way here, but these drivers are getting mighty racy here tonight at Michigan, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, it's Michigan. That's obviously there's speed. There's obviously people making choices in the pits. What they want to do here. What are they doing for this last pit? I mean, obviously, you're getting in here to take fuel for the last part, but are you going 2 tires here? Are you trying to do get a small undercut here? We're down to 14 laps, Carl, as we're on lap 57 to 70. I might be taking 2 tires if that's going to advance me, 3 or 4 positions. And usually an under pit works out very well here.
Well, here's the question, Jimmy. Do you have tires in the pits? I know we had some earlier cautions here, and we mentioned, like Dave Tilford elected not to take tires on that previous pit stop. We'll see if everybody has a set of tires left in the pits to make this thing to the end, to even be able to take right side tires if they want to. As Tilford looks like he does maybe just that. It looks like maybe a 2-tire pit stop from Dave Tilford. Still got a couple more to come into the pits. Looks like our top 4 have yet to come in to make their final pit stop. The leader out of pit road is Michael Rakes at the moment. If my mouse would stop going missing for me, so I'd have to click on the screen. But it is Michael Rakes at the what could be the front of the field here. He took tires. You see him right there going past Aaron Edwards for position. So this is going to move Rakes ahead of Edwards. Can he get around Winters here is the question. So this could be a potentially a race-winning strategy here for Rakes if he can have those tires last. They're 2 laps older than Edwards, but eventually these tires start to even out, and it doesn't really take that long here in Michigan. Matt Crockett out there limping around in a torn-up car. I mean, we'll take a look at that. We'll go a little bit closer to this thing and show you the front of this car, but he's at least got some laps led in that liquid death machine, as winking a little bit. Maybe he's got a little bit of a stroke on the right hand front of that car, but doesn't matter. It got some laps led, and he's going to come in. Looks like Chris Hayes is going to come in here as well, and that should eventually hand the lead over to Michael Rakes, who's already got some company, because Aaron Edwards doesn't want to waste any time here catching up here. Looks like he did have a set of tires in the pits, trying to put him to work here to get back the lead.
Yeah, trying, I can almost say desperate really, but, just running lines, what works for the 15 out there to try hopefully get around Michael Rakes. And, Michael Rakes, obviously doing a fantastic job, able to put that 016 up into P number 2. Gonna have his hands full though. Got Ethan Winters coming along with Dave Tilford and Jacob Grube back there, all battling back there for 4th and 5th. So Group 3 cars, are they going to continue to battle? They're going to line it up, but they're going to try to track these guys down. And then don't look too far back. You got Tyler Chronister back there with Clayton Davis in the number 33. We haven't talked about Clayton at all. It's been kind of quiet here tonight. And Joey Cruz sliding back here just a little bit, but still in the top 10. After getting involved a little bit earlier. Jacob Renneker obviously on track and was having some connections problems earlier and still blinking out. So just kind of everybody's got to kind of watch out for that number 20 a little bit, but sitting back there at night. Jason LaPon having a good run as well, up there in 10th spot, Carl. So then back to the field, you have Kyle Hunter, Matthew Jordan, Cutter Christensen, Ryan Chronister, Chris Gilbert, Dan Phelps, Dylan Husso. I still want to say Daniel Russo. Definitely needs a Karate Kid paint scheme. And then Jason Crispin, Matt Crockett, and Ricky Renner for your top 20.
We did talk about Clayton Davis earlier tonight, and quite a bit earlier. That was the end of the LCQ because he was your LCQ winner. So he started back there in 21st position. Now finds himself up there in 7th spot, trying to hold off Joey Cruz here at the end. Cruz got 2 lap newer tires than him, so it's going to be a little tough. Looks like Winters has gotten around brakes as well. So now can Winters run down Edwards as Winters peaks out here a little bit, going through 3 and 4. But it's 0.9 seconds from Edwards to Winters right now as they cross the line. We've got 8 laps to go. Plenty of time to reel him in. He's got to do it at a tenth a lap.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask, and it's unless the tires are that much different. It's really trying to push the car to limits here as the laps are winding down, getting close down to 5 laps to go here in just a few, and these cars, everybody's doing fine. I'm not seeing any real close battles on the field at the moment, except back here with Tilford, in the top 5. So obviously it's Tyler, Dave, and Jacob Grube all kind of battling that little spot out, and then back with Matthew Jordan, just got moved up into P number 11, just in front of Kyle Hunter. So I guess there's a couple battles. I'm looking at the wrong number. Sorry, boys. And there's also Dan Phelps back there battling as well, with Chris Gilbert right in front of him in the 451. And Gilbert has had his fair share of tapping the wall here tonight. A couple times I've seen that Kubota machine. I thought he was going out to the field to get some bale of hay with a tractor or something. He bounced off the wall a couple of times, but still we're running up here up and he's in 15th right now, so not too bad of a race when you got 38 great drivers out there.
Yeah, he's had a real rough start to the season, unfortunately, for Gilbert, and he's been caught up in, it seems like, something just about every race as well, and that's something that a Platinum driver certainly wants to do. But 2 other Platinum drivers are about to go to battle. Winters has reeled in Edwards. The question is, can he finally get the better of him? Obviously, Edwards, winner of the first 2 races this season, looking to go back to back to start off the season and really put a stamp on the early part of this season championship in the Platinum division. But Winters has got other ideas. He's going to look down to the inside here for the lead into 1.
Yeah, side by side, elbow, gloves are off for these 2 drivers, and as the Winters makes the pass now to hold it for just a few more laps.
See the run that the 15 gets out of turn number 3, maybe bumping the wall there a little bit. He's going to look to the outside here. Out of turn number 2, now look to the outside in 3. 77 going to drift up in front of him, make the 15 a little arrow tight. He's going to have the lead out of 3 and 4 down to the line. We've got 4 laps to go. The 15 all over the back bumper, trying to get a run, trying to stick with that 77. They are 4.5 seconds adrift from the rest of the field. Michael Rakes in 3rd right now, still holding on to that top 3. Jacob Grube, Joey Cruz now going to move up into 4th place, getting ahead of Grube, who brushed the wall, as does Tyler Chronister right behind him. Dave Topher going to look down to the inside for P number 6 and 3.
And going to go 2 for 1 as he is able to kind of get underneath the 188, but has to slow it down to get the rotation there for the 12, and gonna lead him down there at front stretch. So got a few more laps to try to overtake the 188 as Dave's up there in P number 6 now. Joey Cruz has made it up into P number 4, so 28 making his way forward. Maybe he'll have enough for Michael Rakes. He does seem like he has a little bit better speed, but I think their last lap he was about 4/10 faster. So we can see if Joey can make it around Michael Rakes and move him up into the top 3, as he's sitting second in the points so far there in the Platinum Series. So doing a good job so far early on this season.
You see the 15 get to the inside of the 77 and 1, not able to get alongside and make the pass down the backstretch, but goes to the inside again in 3 and 4. Has it at the line, going to dive it into 1. Slide job here at Michigan. It's going to work out for the 15, but now the crossover here from the 77, not going to get a good enough run just yet. He's going to try and get alongside, get a little bit of a side draft down the backstretch. He's going to have it here as they're side-by-side into 3. Jansen in front of him. The lap car will see if he gets used as a pick or not. As we come through 3 and 4, we'll see the white flag this time by.
Yeah, 77 got to keep it down and not able to wash up the track because the 15 is in the way. They crossed the line to take the white flag. The 15 just narrowly had it, but now the 77 goes down to the inside. It's going to keep that 15 to the outside. Going to go down to low through turns 1 and 2. Maybe use a little bit of that draft there from the lap car as he's trying to chase him down. Blinks out on me.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, can't see what's going on anymore.
I can't either. There he is. He's back. He's back, and he's got a sizable lead out down the backstretch. It looks like maybe finally Winters will get the best of Edwards as he goes through 3 and 4. As long as he doesn't make a mistake coming off the corner, as he does not, the 77 of Ethan Winters is going to crack through and get his first win here of the season. Edwards going to have to finish in second. Cruz was able to run down Rakes and come home in third. Good finish there for Rakes in fourth. Heck of a battle. Struggling all the way to the line. It looks like Grube is going to get Tilford by I don't know how much. It's showing me 0.00 seconds here at the line. So, and then Clayton Davis, Tyler Chronister, Jacob Renniker, Blinken and all comes home in ninth. And then how about a nice little top 10 on the debut for Matthew Scruffy Jordan.
Yeah, good run there by all the top 10. And obviously want to finish up with the rest of everybody as they're finishing up their laps here. We'll have the final results here very, very shortly. You know, obviously trying to see where they finish. But down there in P number 10, obviously we stopped off with Matthew Jordan. But in 11th, you have Jason LaPon, Kyle Hunter finishing in 12th, 13th, Cutter Christensen, 14th, Ryan Chronister, Dan Phelps in 15th, Chris Gilbert in 16th, 17th, Dylan Husso, Jason Crispin in 18th, Matt Crockett back in 19th, 20th is going to be Chris Hayes with a pretty decent run. Ricky Renner finishes in 21st. First car a lap down is going to be Brett Hollis. And then you had Terry Jansen, Stephen Harris, Zane Bierman, Josh Van Westen, Eric Martin, Brian Force, Drew Lowe, and then in 30th, Matt Ulmer. And that will round out your 30-car main event. And obviously, special shout out to the others that participated here tonight: Louis Orduna, Jeremy Gainey, Richie Bradshaw, and Dustin Peel.
I want to thank our sponsors here again, simraces.com and Kim's Cups and More for everything they do here for the series. And I know me and Jimmy got some more merch from Kim's Cups and More as well. Got some beautiful new CRN polos with some nice little logo on the front of it. So I know I'll be adorning that quite a bit. And I think Jimmy, you said you just got yours today.
So taking it to Universal with me.
Yep, there you go. Got to rep the brand.
Yes, sir.
Well, we've got our drivers here. At least got some of them waiting here for their interviews. So we're gonna go ahead and take it back here, and we'll talk to our top spot here in the bronze, and that's gonna go to the 00 of Terry Jansen.
Hey, Terry, Jimmy, and Carl, open a boot to copy.
I do. How did I get here?
Well, you finished in the top spot of your division. That's how you got you here. Obviously, tonight, a little crazy with some of your competitors having some internet or computer issues. So obviously, it leads you out to a good points night here and getting another great finish here for the season. Seen you out there practicing, and if I'm not mistaken, you were quite high on the speed list during practice. So just wanted to let you know we noticed that stuff and say congratulations and let you talk about your race a little bit and how it was out there.
Oh, thank you very much. I really didn't want to race tonight. I called out of work because of a really bad headache, and it's still there. Then when the green flag dropped, I think turn 3, I took the low side, and right when I did that, my steering stopped giving me feedback. I was able to correct that during my pit stop. That's why I took my early pit stop. And then that wreck that I caught up into, I thought it was just over, and I was just hanging on for points.
Yeah, it was definitely a unique start of the race. Is over half the field. I counted 15 parked cars on the start finish line, and I'm sure there might have been a few others as well that snuck through. But it was definitely an interesting race. And you obviously stuck it out here tonight to finish it out. I'm glad you're feeling okay to at least attempt here tonight, but obviously make sure you take care of yourself there, buddy. But again, we wanted to say congratulations on your finish and give you some time for any shouts you might have.
Yeah, I want to start off with thank God and apologize to the drivers that I bounced off of while I was trying to figure out what my force feedback was doing to me. Uh, Renee, she says that she's my biggest fan, so I'll give her a shout out. Of course, my neighbor David, he's been going around the racetrack all weekend long telling everyone that I am the core e-racing champion. I'm going to have to do something about that.
Yeah, drive faster.
But I'm sure he's over there watching now. Before this summer, he wasn't even a race fan, and now he drags me to every race that he can. Uh, and then, of course, all of everyone at Everyone Church that's supporting me and following me, and you guys as well. And again, I go and show what the heart of core is: fight, finish, represent. You guys have a great night.
You too, Terry. Again, congratulations, and yeah, go celebrate with your friends and family.
That is your top spot here in the bronze, finishing in 23rd place here tonight. Terry Jansen in the double zero, and should be good enough to give him the points lead as he came in only 2 points behind Joe Thomas, who unfortunately wasn't here tonight. Top spot here in the silver class is going to go to Jay LePan. Jay, certainly an interesting one here at Michigan. You come in as a points leader, having a pretty good season so far in the silver, but you had to avoid the big one at Michigan. I mean, talk to me about the restart. Where were you? What did you have to deal with? I mean, we've seen bunch ups on restarts before, but the fact that everybody kind of parked it and stopped there on the front stretch and not get any damage was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I was in the back. I pitted, got tires, fuel. I told Jacob, I'm like, man, this is gonna be an interesting restart. He was starting behind me, and right as soon as it went green, I just saw smoke, and I didn't even get on the gas, and I was fortunate to not get a black flag because it seems like a lot of those were given out. So it's pretty lucky. Just probably luckier starting in the back than starting in the middle of the pack where I was running most of the night.
Yeah, sometimes you make a decision in the race and you think, well, this is gonna kind of screw me over, and then all of a sudden it immediately pays off, and it sounds like that's kind of what happened to you there. You get the silver division win here again tonight, and it looks like you got, I don't want to say a stranglehold on it early on, but it's been a pretty decent start to the season here for you, coming home just outside the top 10 here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a couple of long runs in that race. Obviously, my car was just like very stiff. It was really hard race. I mean, and I
See what you did there.
I stayed stiff all night. And
Well,
I got to give that to my sponsor.
well, you're certainly a stiff competition for the rest of the silver drivers in that division as well.
And it was such a good race with the silver too. It's really hard. But me, Matthew, and I forgot who, Dan Phelps, we were neck and neck until that last pit stop, and I short pitted them, and I got it. Matt must have had some kind of issue, and then I just got a lead on Dan, and I just maintained the lead. I wasn't really racing, and then that one guy who finished 10th wanted to race me. I didn't want to wreck and have Dan pass me.
Well, it worked out nice here. Like I said, you come home just outside the top 10 and 11th spot. So, congrats on the run here tonight. Congrats on winning the top spot here for the silver division. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
My team, we all put quite a bit of practice in last night and before the race, and my wife for letting me come out here and do this, and she got to listen to me saying how I've won 3 video game races in a row. So I'm sure she's going to be so proud of me in the morning. And I wake up early, go to work, so I'll wake her up early too, just to let her know I won again.
Exactly. Well deserved here for you so far this season, and hopefully you can keep that success going. But either way, we'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next week.
All right, take care, guys.
You too, buddy. That is the driver of the 19, Jay LePan. It comes home in 11th spot here tonight. Top spot in the silver. Top spot in the gold here tonight, and had a chance maybe early at the win here, but it's going to go to the 016 of Michael Rakes.
Hey, Mike, it's Jimmy and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
I'm pretty good. Got yourself a fantastic finish here, and you were now able to lead a few laps here tonight. And obviously, you finished on top of the gold division here tonight to get yourself a spot up here in the booth. So we just want to say congratulations and get your side of the story on how the race was here tonight, as there was times where it was interesting.
Oh yeah, there were some scary moments, especially I don't know who it was. I guess it was I really don't know who it was, but whoever hit Zane or when they bounced off the wall. But that was a terrifying moment because I just turned left and prayed. About all I could do there. Very hairy.
Yeah, coming up on a lap car at the speeds that you can get around here at Michigan can always be challenging, and obviously the lap car was having issues with the control, and he took that bounce off, and there was just nowhere for Zane to go, and able to get around that and sneak on by, and obviously allows you to get up here and have a great finish. So obviously the choices you made tonight were the right ones, and wanted to say congratulations and give you some time for any shout-outs you might have on that 016.
Yep, I want to say thank you for Kim's Cups and More for sponsoring the car this season, and all the 191 guys for getting me involved in league racing. I want to thank Zane for really getting me into 191 too. So yeah, and I want to thank y'all guys for broadcasting.
I really appreciate the shouts as normal. Again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
That is your 4th place finisher here tonight, and a great run for the 016 of Michael Rakes. He's your top gold driver here tonight. Top man overall, though, is finally going to go to the 77 of Ethan Winters, as you were able to finally get around Aaron Edwards at the right moment, at the right time, and get the win here tonight, and break through and stop him from the three-peat to start this season.
Yeah, it was tough. It was a good race. I didn't think that I was going to be able to reel him back in after he short pit me by a lap, but I just drove the hell out of it and eventually got to him, and I thought I burnt the fronts off of it, but it still had just a little bit more to give, so it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, you were able to run him down. You were able to make the pass, but it seemed like at that point, you were good enough that you could get around him and pull away, but that wasn't the case at all. I mean, as soon as you passed him, he was right back on your bumper and throwing it basically the same moves right back at you with some slide jobs into one. I know you tried the crossover there. It was just enough to get you the side draft to get to the inside again. So, I mean, it was fantastic racing at the front.
Yeah, I think the tire advantage was gone by the time I caught him, so we were I used it all up. So we were on even stuff there, I feel like, for the most part, there on the last couple laps, and it worked out. But I'd like to thank Unified Potential, Sim Shop, Delta Sport, Autoverse, all the people that, help us, and the guys we race with. They really, really do us solid. So I just want to say thank you to them, and it's good to be back in the saddle again in victory lane.
Well, certainly the bragging rights in the team as well for the week. So make sure you rub it in there to Mr. Edwards until you head it back out there next week. As you guys next week are heading to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. How do you feel about Indianapolis coming up?
I would say that's probably my strongest track. I would be ill-advised to say if I'm not good at flat tracks. Anything with less banking, I feel like I'm very good at. So it'll be fun. It's definitely something I look forward to.
Well, certainly Indianapolis and New Hampshire coming up should play right in your wheelhouse then. So we'll see if you can go for a three-peat here in the next couple races. But take some time for this week and celebrate this win. We'll see you next week at IMS.
Alrighty, I appreciate it, guys.
That is your winner here tonight, the 77 of Ethan Winters, getting it done with some late race heroics here and gets himself first win of the season and maybe claw a little bit more into that points race as well. Joey Cruz, unfortunately, got caught up in the little bit of melee, got a black flag, and fell back through the standings. But a really good fight back to finish himself up there as well in third place. And it seems like those three are just going to be neck and neck and neck all season long, which is certainly something I'm looking forward to. I mean, it's only 3 races in the season, and all 3 of them, basically nothing to separate them so far, and hopefully we'll see them more at IMS next week. Keep it tuned in here to CRN as we've got the doubleheader tomorrow night with the CSRL and the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series, and then on Thursday we'll have the doubleheader with VVR and the Core GT Series. But for myself and Jimmy from the beautiful Michigan International Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.
My people up in the chandeliers, the whining and dining, the menu is blood, sweat, and tears. Everybody ready, raining down confetti, champions are born right now. Ain't about the glamour, click goes the hammer, run when you hear that sound. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive, even if we crawl to the finish line. All believe it, underdog dreaming, don't need your cheers, who's gonna say it? Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. Dreams just keep dripping out of their golden cups. I'm starving, leftovers ain't enough. Ain't about the royals, they do nothing for you. All you got is you right now. Who is gonna falter, who is gonna conquer? Better never count me out. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive, even if we crawl to the finish line. All believe it, underdog dreaming, don't need no cheers, who's gonna say it? Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. Gotta make it to the finish line every day, every day. Gotta make it to the finish line. Gotta make it to the finish line every day, every day. Gotta make it to the finish line.